How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal in this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading with the prices going up or down. House Republicans introduced bill that aims to bring regulatory clarity to crypto. The bill, titled Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act, they love their long-winded acts, seeks to establish a much-needed regulatory framework for digital asset space and marks a significant milestone, says Chairman Glenn Thompson. The bill seeks to establish new definitions, cover digital asset exemptions, and outlines a path for digital asset intermediaries like cryptocurrency exchanges to register with both the SEC and CFTC. One of the bill's standout features is a pathway for blockchains to be certified as decentralized. We'll kind of get into that in one of the other ones, but digital asset issuers would be required to abide by a new disclosure regime under the new rules, providing information on their project's economics, development plan, and other risk factors. That includes a requirement for token issuers to disclose a project's source code. The bill would amend U.S. securities laws so the SEC must consider innovation as a factor when issuing new rules, according to the brief. CoinCenter blasts messy and unconstitutional Senate DeFi bill. The definition of who controls a DeFi service, however, will be solely decided by the Secretary of the Treasury, potentially conferring the department with excess authority. So this is the main concern of the bill, aside from any positives. The bill gives virtually unbound discretion to the Secretary to decide what it would take to designate one as having control of a protocol. So there's multiple issues and ways they could define you as controlling a protocol, and we'll get into that here. The definition DeFi is supposed to be decentralized. However, as acknowledged in a Treasury report earlier this year, many DeFi protocols are more centralized than they claim, featuring clear governance structures and concentration of voting power in the hands of wealthy governance token holders. So this is a problem, as that's not really decentralized. There's also a constitutional issue. The bill would extend penalties for sanctions violations to anyone who makes available an application designed to facilitate transactions using a digital asset protocol. Once again, this could penalize software developers who have the First Amendment right to publish code as freely as speech. Congressman Richie Torres, SEC Chair Gary Gensler intent on sabotaging crypto industry. So speaking at the Christie's Auction House Art and Tech Summit, Torres reiterated his comparison of Gensler to an overzealous traffic cop who excessively takes drivers and accuses them of speeding without telling them the speed limit, adding that the SEC was engaging in a regulation by enforcement approach. He continued, "If you're going to accuse me of speeding, you want to tell me the speed limit first." While the SEC argues that existing securities laws aren't an appropriate framework for cryptocurrencies and the path to registration with the regulator is clear, Torres' words echo a common complaint from the industry that this is not the case and there is no clear guidance. So that kind of reiterates what we talked about in the first article. So onto the charts here. Total market cap did break our support, but we did bounce above it, so we have reaffirmed it as our support so far. RSI is trying to head up. Our momentum looks like it wants to make a recovery. Stochastics just going kind of flat. We'll need that to pull back up. Our money flow is heading into the bullish territory. Our VWAP is slightly bullish, so if that can gain some more traction, that could push our momentum and other indicators up for us. Over on our Bitcoin dominance, we are taking a bit of a drop still. RSI is still dropping, stochastic is falling, money flow is coming out a bit, and our momentum is kind of riding flat, slowly losing some steam as our VWAP is just riding under that neutral. Over on Bitcoin futures, our RSI is losing a little bit of steam here. Stochastic's pretty oversold still, so we do have potential for a bearish cross to happen. Our money flow is rejecting away from that neutral, so we do have bearish money flow happening on the daily. Our VWAP is starting to straighten out, so it was coming up for a hope of a crossover, but it's looking like we could break this flag. Our momentum wave is also coming under, so that's not too good of a sign for us. Over on Bitcoin, we are kind of under a bull flag, so we could have had a bull flag here push us up, just like we had that bull flag on the futures. That's why they mirror each other, and you should pay attention to both when we cover them. But we do have this double top that could play out, so this double top could bring us up and then back down. As you see, we go up, down, and then you crash. So this could push us lower if we do confirm another red candle and we get close to this point control golden pocket area where we could push lower. So we broke our point control, got rejected by it. So this golden pocket with the Fibonacci area, watch our Fibonacci retracement video. We tend to have a lot of manipulation here. We do have a hold around the middle, but if we break that, we could get sucked back under and see this bigger up channel that we have break us down if you forgot that we were in that. So we do have some downside potential, don't get too hopium filled. RSI overall is starting to slide, stochastic's pretty beat down. Our VWAP wants to come up, but could start to curl out like the futures. Our momentum is starting to come down. It wants to curl, but if that VWAP rejects away, that's not likely to happen. Over on the 4 hour here, stochastic is pushing down. Our RSI wants to curl up, but if the stochastic keeps coming down, that RSI could bend back the other way. Our momentum is falling into the bearish territory. Money flow is struggling to maintain bullish momentum. We're getting slightly lower highs, so that could set us up for some bearish action. Our VWAP is trying to come up, but if it does not manage to gain some steam and pushes away from here, then we could be in to go toward this little manipulation zone. Over on the 2 hour, our RSI is overall losing some steam here. Stochastic's trying to get a bullish cross, so our stochastic wants to head up, but our money flow is coming out, so we are starting to lose some strength to the bullish side. Our VWAP is trying to push up, but it's starting to curl away slightly, so if that VWAP starts to round off and pull under, we could see some more downside. We have a manipulation X that brought us down. We had a green dot that wanted to push us up, but that was unsuccessful. Over on the 1 hour, our RSI is overall starting to fall. Stochastic's looking like it could round off after trying to get a run up, so that's not good for the 2. Our money flow is making a bounce off that neutral, but we are coming back down towards a local resistance area where we've had these struggle points. Our VWAP is toward that neutral, very close, so if that breaks bearish, that could bring our money flow and momentum under on us. Over on graph for the daily, we do have a descending triangle here, so that could bring us lower. That could bring us to fill these wicks down here, so just watch out for that. Zoom out real quick so we can get that. We are kind of testing our point control, so if we do hold above it, we could break away from this pattern, but if we get rejected tomorrow, we could see this pattern play out. Our RSI is trying to head up, stochastic is overall falling, and our momentum's coming down but trying to round up. Money flow is trying to ramp up, and our VWAP's struggling here, so our VWAP wants to go in bullish territory, but we'll have to see if it can keep the steam up. Like this video and subscribe if you already haven't, and if you want to check out this nice merch from Reaper Apparel Co., check the description as well and join our Discord. But back to the charts. Over on the 4 hour here, our stochastic is getting a bit of a push down. Our RSI is starting to fall off. Money flow is slightly coming out, so watch out if it makes a lower high. VWAP is pushing down. Our momentum wave is coming down with a red dot as our VWAP broke bearish. So overall, we do have some bearish momentum building here, and we could see this pattern play out. Over on the 2 hour, stochastic's pretty beat down, wanted to make a bullish cross, but it's looking like it could curl away and reject that cross. Momentum's coming down, trying to round up off that neutral, so if that can manage to happen with the VWAP trying to cross through that neutral, then we could see a little bit of a push past and break away from the pattern. However, if we see this VWAP round away and the money flow and momentum come out, we could see this bring us down. Over on the 1 hour, stochastic's trying to ramp up. RSI's overall struggling to make any new highs. We're pretty flat here. Money flow is making a bounce off that neutral, so that is good for us, but if we start to come in resistance, we could crash back under. Our VWAP is starting to flatten out, and our momentum wants to come up, but if that VWAP starts to curl away, then we could see a red dot form, and that momentum would get sucked under. Over on Anchor, we do have a bit of a wedge, so this could bring us down. If you count right here, kind of moved it, it was back here. Our stochastic is falling, RSI is kind of flat, momentum's coming down. Money flow is meeting some resistance here around a 9, Our VWAP is in the bearish territory, but it's going pretty flat, so watch for that momentum to curl back up and break through. If that does happen, that could help give us a push up. Over on the 4 hour, our stochastic is pushing down pretty strongly. RSI wants to push up despite that. Our VWAP is trying to push up, but it is in the bearish territory. Our money flow did make a new high, but we are testing our lows, so if we round off here, we could lose our bullish momentum. Our momentum is coming under, it wants to make a round, but if that VWAP doesn't manage to cross through that neutral, we could see a red dot bring us even lower. Over on the 2 hour, our stochastic's trying to make a bullish cross, our RSI is pushing up but starting to round off, so if that round does happen, we could see a rejection here. Our momentum is on the bearish territory, VWAP is trying to push toward the neutral, so if that VWAP does come into the bullish territory, that could try to break us up, but we're going to need some strong strength. Money flow overall is coming out, so the money flow is losing strength and going more bearish, so just keep an eye on that. Over on the 1 hour, our stochastic is trying to push up, our RSI is trying to push up, our money flow is in the bearish territory, not really maintaining very strong momentum either way though. Our VWAP is in the bullish territory trying to push us up, but we could meet some resistance soon around this 15 zone where we've struggled. Our momentum wants to come up, but if that VWAP rounds off here, then we could see a bit of a drop off. Over on XRP for the daily, we are trying to test our golden pocket here. We are coming to the bottom of it. We did try to break through the top again, so we're just zigzagging around. We did also break out of it, so that's why I said you'll get a lot of manipulation. You just see yourself zigzag around. Our RSI is starting to fall. Our stochastic is really tight in this overbought area. We have that red dot on our RSI, so that could bring us down. Our momentum's still really close to wanting to make that curl, so any moment we could push lower, as our VWAP is real close to that neutral, so tomorrow if we don't get a bullish push, we could see a red dot on this momentum wave. Money flow is also struggling to make a new high, even though price is trying to make a new high, so we could form some sort of double top that could bring us down here too, just as a word of caution. Over on the 4 hour, we had that triangle, but we kind of got a little bit of a breakup, but that was about as much as we got, and we didn't get a bull pendant breakup, so we could see a bit of a sell-off here. Our momentum is coming down, RSI is trying to push up, stochastic wants to make a bullish cross, so if that stochastic can push up with some strength, our RSI might be able to recover. Our money flow is overall losing strength and coming down near that neutral. And our VWAP is trying to get a bit of a curl back up, so our VWAP does want to make a short-term recovery. We'll have to see if that can give our momentum a green dot or not if it crosses through the bullish. Over on the 2 hour here, you can see we're got that manipulation X that brought us down. We have a long lower shadow candle, so that is a bullish candle that shows that sellers tried to push us down, but ultimately buyers push us higher. So we could see another push up. If that does happen, we do still have, there is a triple top that doesn't happen very often. That could happen. But if we do break away from this region here, then we could see some other pattern form. VWAP is trying to break through the neutral, so if our VWAP goes bullish, that could help push us higher. Our momentum wants to get a green dot, so if that VWAP does make that break, we could see that green dot here. Stochastic wants to make a bullish run, but it's starting to kind of taper off, so if it loses its strength, we could get pushed down here. RSI is starting to taper off as well, so keep an eye on both of these. And our money flow overall is losing slight steam, so we are slightly heading more bearish than bullish. Over on the 1 hour, our stochastic is trying to push higher, RSI is starting to push lower. Our money flow is rejecting away overall, curling out. Our VWAP did make a pretty new local high around 11. That's a zone we've had multiple rejections from, and we're starting to push away from. Momentum wants to come up, but if that VWAP starts to push here, we'll get a red dot that could push it under. So overall, we are pretty bearish looking on the 1 hour, and we could get a drop off if we're not careful. Finally, for algo for the daily, we are kind of zigzagging around here too. Want to break through our point control, but we can't manage. Stochastic's starting to push down, RSI is pretty flat. It's gaining a little bit of strength here, but not much. Our VWAP is trying to push through that neutral, so our VWAP wants to break into the bullish territory. We'll have to see if that can actually happen. If it can, we could see a push up. Our momentum wave wants to push higher, so if this VWAP breaks bullish, we could see that cross up. Our money flow is trying to push up as well, so we do have a little bit of hope here, but I wouldn't get too excited as we've had it curl up multiple times and then push back even lower. Over on the 4 hour, stochastic is pushing down. RSI is overall losing strength. Our money flow wants to break into the bullish territory, so we'll have to see if it can flip bullish and hold this time. Our VWAP is on the bearish territory, trying to gain some steam, but not much. If this VWAP curls off, our momentum could push under, and we could see everything reject away. Over on the 2 hour, stochastic's trying to make a bullish cross. RSI is trying to push up, but it's trying to flatten out. Our money flow is a little bullish, but overall it's going pretty flat. Our momentum is riding above that neutral line, wants to get a bit of a push here as our VWAP's trying to break through the neutral. So if that VWAP can go bullish, we may see a bit of a bounce here. We do have a few green candles. The 1 hour, we do have a bit of a rounding pattern going on, so that could be a bit of a bottom where we could push higher, kind of like we had here where we had that rounding, push higher, took a dip, got that round, pushed higher, so that trend could continue. RSI is starting to round off, stochastic's trying to push up. Our money flow is pretty strong in the bullish territory. Our VWAP is in the bullish territory, meeting some resistance though. Our momentum is coming up, so if our VWAP starts to reject away, we could see a little bit of a dip on this momentum, but just keep an eye for this money flow to maintain this momentum, as that could help push everything else up. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a great night.